Please, Dan. I just need a room for a few nights, I begged. Dan was one of my closest friends, and he also happened to be the manager of the hotel I needed to room in. Fine, Dan said, accepting defeat. I grinned triumphantly as Dan grabbed my keys from under the desk and led me towards my temporary stay. When we stopped in front of the room, he stopped me, saying he needed to tell me something. Don't try to go inside room number 207, he said solemnly. I tried looking for any traces of amusement, a sign that he was just joking with me. But he was serious. So I did what anyone would do. I asked him why. He said that it was because of a ghost, and that he had lost way too many guests because of the presence in that room, whatever it was. He also told me explicitly not to touch the doorknob under any circumstances. And that was all the information he gave me. Apparently, that was all I needed to know. I didn't really believe him. Still under the impression that this was for all an elaborate prank. But I was planning on following his rules anyway. It was around 2 in the morning when I heard a loud wailing coming from across the hall. There was someone out there who needed help. I waited to see if it would stop after a few minutes, but it didn't. It was too loud and had successfully driven my sleep away. Annoyed, I got up from my bed, slipping on my shoes. Opening the door, I realized it was coming from room 207. At this point, I was convinced this was a prank. Those wails couldn't possibly have been made by something dead. I knocked on the door loudly, hammering on it, and decided to tell whoever was on the other side to calm down. I had a meeting tomorrow and I needed my sleep. As soon as my hand hit the door, the wailing stopped, completely. It was deathly quiet. I felt uneasy as I stood there in my pajamas. What if there was actually someone on there and she was hurt? Are you all right? I called out. No answer. I looked into the keyhole above the ancient doorknob. It was a trashed room, like there had been a huge fight there and no one had bothered to clean it up. There were stains on the walls, blood stains. I had always heard about these kind of scenes in movies and in books, but actually seeing one in real life was extremely unsettling. My heart rate quickened. I should have left then, but something was keeping me here. Is everything all right? I asked. I looked into the keyhole again, and I saw red. Literally, just plain red. It was like someone had struck bright red wallpaper on the other side of the keyhole to obstruct my view. Chills ran down my spine. Something was definitely in this room, and I'm pretty sure that it wasn't human. I could feel it. Thank God I hadn't seen anything disturbing. I took the chance I had to and got out of that place, locking myself in my room. Sleep eluded me for the rest of that night. The next day, I finished up all my work and was going back to my room after a quick walk around the building. Dan caught up with me. Hey, Dan, I greeted. You look like shit, Dan said. Thanks, man. Did you go near room 207? No, I lied. Remembering the strange incidents of the previous night, I asked Dan about the ghost inside. He sighed and then launched off into a story. Apparently, many years ago, back when Dan's father owned the hotel, a couple had come stay there for some time. They lived in room 207. The husband was a businessman and his wife was a dancer. One day, the husband came back from work to find his wife with another man. So he shot his wife, her lover, and then shot himself because he was consumed with the guilt of killing the woman he loved. Her ghost stayed in that hotel, luring men to their deaths via the doorknob. If you touched the doorknob, you were as good as dead. He then went on to describe her inhuman, ghostly appearance. How she had claws for hands, decaying skin hanging off her face and whatnot. I had chills as I made my way back to my room after our talk. As I lay on my bed, one particular detail came back to me. While Dan was describing this entity, I remember him telling me she had red eyes, blood red.